Hello, my lovely, beautiful humans. So today we're going to be recreating one of my Halloween looks from way back in 2012, I want to say. So obviously I've gotten a little bit better. I've gotten a little bit more skills. So let's see how this goes, okay? We're going to start off with Boscia Sake Treatment Water. Now go ahead and press some of that into the skin. Next, we're going to apply some of the Clinique Pep Start Eye Cream. The caffeine in it will help brighten up the under eye area. And of course, I dropped everything. But this one's the Too Cool for School Egg Moisturizer. It's really cool because it helps all of your foundation and everything just layer beautifully. We're going to be using the Urban Decay Optical Illusion Primer to help fill in the pores just to make sure that we have a smooth canvas. Make sure to press the product in, don't just swipe it everywhere. And I do have to get rid of my brows, unfortunately, so we are going to use some Elmer's glue stick just to help flatten up the hairs and keep them in place. I used a spatula to take off the glue stick and then just press it in with my fingers. I'm going to use Sephora Collections number 56 brush and the Naked One and Done foundation to apply a base where my moon shape is going to go over. Now this foundation is intentionally way more light than my skin tone, and I'm just applying that all over half of my face just to add a base to it. Now I'm still trying to cover up my brow hairs, so I'm using the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Concealer and just applying that all over the brow. And I'm going to use the same brush to blend it out. Now this is where we start hiding the brow, so just keep on blending that concealer out. I'm going to use Bare Minerals setting powder, and with a powder puff, I'm just going to powder everywhere where I applied a liquid. Now, I'm still not happy with the amount of coverage that I have, so I'm going to start layering concealer, then powder, concealer, then powder, and just blending in between layers until I get the coverage that I want. Okay, so we're definitely getting there. I'm going to use Hard Candy's Glamoflauge concealer, and that's because since it's a cream, it has a thicker consistency. Apply the concealer with your finger and don't blend it out. Just go ahead and powder right on top of it to get maximum coverage. Next, we're going to start working on our outline, and for that, I'm going to be using Morphe's pencil in the shade Richie, which is a nice, rich, dark brown. It's always easier to do your sketches in brown than it is black because it's easier to cover up. Now, remember, your sketch is just a rough outline. It doesn't have to be perfect. I did find it easier to start working on the inside part of my face first, as the side of the face is easier to draw on just because the skin is more firm and it has less curves to it. I really recommend this pencil for outlining because it's super creamy and it's also affordable. It's only like $3. Next, I'm going to go in with my Mehron palette and I'm going to use the shade Black to fill in my outline. Now, make sure you wet your brush with water first to activate the paint. And with the black paint, you're going to notice it's a lot easier to get nice, crisp lines. Now, a suggestion for you guys is to use almost an X pattern when you're filling in large areas. It just helps make sure that you get a nice, even coverage with minimal streaks. Even right here, you'll notice I'll swipe in one direction and then I'll swipe in the next. Oh, look at me, so pretty. It's rhinestone time. So I'm going to use Mehron Spirit Gum to apply all of these rhinestones to my face. I'm just using a brush to dot glue all over where I want to apply a rhinestone, and then just placing the rhinestone right on top of it. This process makes it so much easier to just go about applying every single rhinestone. There is no pattern to this madness, so just go ahead and kind of gauge where you want to apply the rhinestones. Just make sure that they are spaced out enough because we are going to be adding some smaller rhinestones in between these gaps. The small crystals can be really tricky to apply. They're little boogers that are so easy to drop. So what I found was the easiest way to do this was to use some lash applications tweezers to place the crystals where they belong. As you can see, I'm using the brush to apply some Spirit Gum over a small area. This gives it time to get nice and tacky, so when we do go in with the small crystal, it will latch onto place instead of sliding everywhere. This is the easiest way to get maximum coverage in the least amount of time. Trust me, it seems like a small area, but once you're applying so many crystals, it can actually get very time consuming. Now I'm going in with a small flat brush that I bought off of eBay, and I'm picking up Itay Beauty's glitter in the shade Black Diamond. I'm pouring some onto the lid, and next I'm going to pour in some of their liquid bonding gel. What I love about this method is that you can determine how dense you want your glitter goop to be. I'm only going to apply this shade to the top portion of the moon by using small short strokes. Really take the time to make sure that you get a nice even coverage. Remember, in this case, you don't want any gaps to be showing through. You can also take this time to kind of straighten up your edges a little bit. And remember, we're still going to do a final cleanup. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with the Itay Beauty glitter in the shade Silver, except this time I'm going to be working on the bottom part of the moon. Now, I'm going to spread that all over, but you can tell that I'm not really working on blending both of those colors in yet. We're going to do the blending after you finish packing on the silver. So picking up some more of the black rainbow, I'm really working on just buffing in that line to make sure that you can't really see anything. I'm going to apply some more crystals throughout the cheek, but this time it's not going to be as dense as the bottom part. And I'm alternating between small crystals and big crystals. And again, just using the dot spirit glue and apply crystal method. It's time for the final cleanup. I'm picking up some more of the Glamoflauge concealer by Hard Candy and a small flat brush, and I'm just going ahead and I'm swiping it against the edges to make sure that we get nice crisp clean lines. Take your time to work your way all around the moon. Just be careful when you get close to the area where you place the crystals, because if they're not fully set, you can actually accidentally move them around. Make sure you apply some more of the concealer everywhere, and I'm just adding a little bit more of that original Tarte Rainforest of the Sea concealer to add a little bit of dimension. And with the same Sephora brush, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to blend it all the way through. Apply some more concealer towards the neck because that area is not going to be covered by anything. You want to get a nice even coverage just so that everything looks nice and even. Now it's time to go in hard with the powder. Powder everything. Now I'm going to pick up Beauty Bakerie's Lip Whip in the shade Bowl of Cherries. I'm going to use this to outline my brow and fill it in, except I'm creating an extremely curved shape because I am going more for that evil magician look. I did freehand this design, and make sure you go ahead and create whatever design you want to or can create. I'm just taking my time to really work on those edges and make sure that I get a nice clean outline. I'm still going to go in with different shades, but for now, this is good enough just so I can get a basic outline of what I'm going to be creating with my eyeshadow shape. I'm going to go ahead and use some more of that Glamoflauge concealer to clean up the brow just to make sure that we do get that nice, clean, crisp cut edge. I'm picking up some of NYX's Black Bean Pencil, and this is going to be the eyeshadow base for my smoky eye. I'm just blending it out with a small buffing brush. Now, nothing about this has to be perfect or precise. Just make sure you don't go too far up into the lid. I'm going to pick up some more of that black bean and really just build up on that pigmentation. Now that my base is all set, I'm picking up Browdy from the Subculture palette, and I'm packing that onto the lid. I'm not really worried about blending it out. I just want to really get that pigmentation on there. And I'm smoking out the bottom with the whatever's left over on the brush. I'm going to use the shade Kinky from my Smoky Urban Decay palette just to create some highlight. Now, I really love intense highlights, so I'm really packing it on there as well. I'm picking up Axis now, which is that nice blue shade, to create more of a smoky effect. Now, I'm going to go back between Axis and Rowdy back and forth. And to be honest, makeup is just about going back and forth with colors until you get the perfect blend. You can see here that I'm going back with Kinky and again, just packing it back on. Now, I'm going to pick up Cranberry Stiletto by Beauty Bakerie and using a small fine tip brush to create small hair-like strokes. Now this is slowly starting to add more dimension onto your brow. And I'm going to use the black bean pencil to contour a bit. Now, with this one, you want to go a little bit light-handed and try to be precise because you are going for really strong carved out features. I'm using a brush to blend it out, and it is a smaller brush just to make sure that I don't stray too far or spread the black around too much. Try to be as precise as you can and try to not stray too far from your given section. I'm picking up a Real Techniques brush and some cool tone bronzer from a BH Cosmetics blush palette, and I'm just working on softening up that black that it blended around before. Using what's left over on the brush, I am going to start contouring my nose, but I am going to go in with a smaller, more fine buffing brush, and I'm going to blend in a little bit of black just to create a little bit more evenness within the whole look. To reinforce the nose highlight, I am going in with some white concealer and just creating a more intense highlight right there. And I'm just going to go ahead and blend. I wanted even more depth to the brow, so I'm going in with Sephora liquid lipstick in the shade number 24. And I'm creating some more hair-like strokes. Now you can definitely see the difference. I'm going to pick up the brush that I had for the bronzer, and I'm just going to buff them onto my jawline. I'm going in with Jeffree Star's Queen Bee and Beauty Bakerie's Cake and Glory Lip Whip in order to create some stars. I just mixed both of the shades, and I'm going in with another fine thin eyeliner pencil. Now these I just got off of eBay. They were like 80 cents a piece, but trust me, they're the best thing ever. I'm going to pick up some of Itay Beauty's Gold Glitter, and I'm just going to go right on top of the stars that I drew in order to create some more dimension to it and make them pop a lot more and kind of go with the whole sparkly crystal moon theme that I have going on. I'm just topping off all of the stars, and you guys can see how this character is really starting to come together. Stay tuned towards the end of this video for this character's story.